All right, without further ado, welcome to the Broadreach Marine Biology webinar. Thank you all so much for being here. It's so good to meet you all. My name is Patrick, but really thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to wear my fish tie. It's not every day that I get a chance to wear it, so really excited to be here with everybody. And so, who am I? Originally from New Jersey, I became a dive instructor in 2010. Soon after that, I found myself working on a marine conservation program in Mexico to help restore coral reefs along the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. From there, I heard about this company called Broadreach that was teaching students about marine biology, scuba diving, and everything in between. So my interest was piqued. And my Broadreach journey started in 2012, working on our Bahamas marine biology program as a summer staff member and dive instructor. I've since moved to Raleigh to work here at our headquarters, where I've been coordinating our marine biology and advanced diving programs since 2016. I'm fortunate to still get out in the field once in a while, where I've led Broadreach programs in the Bahamas, Curacao, Fiji, Bali, the Caribbean, and also the Cayman Islands. Just a quick outline of the webinar tonight. We're going to go over Broadreach's history, some of our guiding principles, touch on risk management as well, and then of course talk about our instructors, how to pick a program, and then we're going to chat about some of my favorite marine biology programs. So 26 years of Broadreach. So Broadreach has been running unique and exciting programs all across the globe for the last 26 years, which is really special to us. Our mission is to create mind-blowing experiences and adventures for students to actively learn, explore, and build skills through hands-on discovery and interaction with the world's oceans, ecosystems, and wildlife. Based on this, we've taken tens of thousands of students abroad, and we're very proud of our history, our program design, and our philosophy. So if you're lucky enough to become a member of the Broadreach family, you'll find that we've honed in on providing an exceptional student experience from the first moment you call through the course of the program and on even into college, careers, and beyond. We love taking care of our students' families by including everybody in the journey. We've also embraced technology. We also send frequent trip updates and photos throughout the summer adventure, keep everybody at home engaged with the experience. And this photo that you see here is from the very first Broadreach program in the British Virgin Islands. So their experience is a little bit more rustic than we are these days, but we try to hold true to the values that fuel all of our Broadreach programs. And this gentleman right over here is Carlton. He's our founder. Some of our guiding principles and values. So as part of our program design, our values are at the forefront of every Broadreach adventure. We delight in sparking curiosity and courage in our students and love watching them explore, learn, bounce back from failures, and celebrate their successes. The locations we visit offer perfect backdrops for skill mastery, hands-on discovery, and incomparable adventure. So in small groups of peers, usually 12 students, and highly qualified instructors, students embrace their environments through countless learning opportunities, even earning college credits along the way. From a risk management perspective, one of the most frequently asked questions we get from our students and families is related to safety. Often we are asked, is Broadreach safe? We work year-round and take a proactive approach to manage the risks that our students and instructors will face while they're on the program. While so many of us are focused rightly on COVID-19 at the moment, let you know we are as well. We're experienced at managing risks, and frankly, it's one of the many risks that we are also actively managing. We develop extensive emergency action plans for all the places we go to that cover how to respond to incidents, whether large or small. So while the majority of our incidents are cuts and scrapes and bumps and bruises, we do occasionally have a stomach bug or broken bone or something along those lines that requires more extensive medical care. We guide and train our instructors on exactly how to manage these incidents, provide 24/7 office support during programs to both our instructors and to our families. Should anyone need anything at any time, we are here. We also encourage and teach our students to be active participants and good risk managers themselves. They're briefed by instructors for each location we go to, and we help teach them those important travel skills. Our instructors, which we'll talk about next, attend a 10-day in-person training to learn about Broadreach and our philosophy, but also get in depth with their program coordinators about all the aspects of the programs they're leading, including location and program-specific risk management considerations. So please rest assured that we're committed to taking exceptional care of you and your student. That is the utmost priority. Speaking of our instructors, they're a diverse and fun bunch. Over 50% of them return year after year, and that is a number we are incredibly proud of. Our families love to know more about our instructors, and it's hard to say exactly who will be the instructor on a particular program right at this moment. However, it's good to know that on average, they're 28 years old, and if they are leading the academic component of the program, marine biology in this case, they will have their master's degree or doctorate in the material they are teaching. They are true experts in their subject matter. So these are marine biologists, zoologists, dive instructors, and teachers who are so passionate about what they do, they can't wait to share it. They're also incredible mentors, so even years after a Broadreach program ends, we have instructors who write college reference letters and job recommendations for students who decide to pursue their passions on a full-time basis. But ultimately, instructors are there to facilitate a fun and safe experience for their students. So if you're considering signing up for a program, of course, we'd love to chat with you and talk in depth about your goals for the summer. But even before that, we highly recommend that you sit down as a family and figure out which trips are most exciting, what your summer schedule will look like, and from there, we can help you find a great fit. The most important thing to know about Broadreach programs is that most do not require any experience. So students will walk away from the summer with certifications, college credit on most of our marine bio programs, but also confidence and tons of new knowledge. Oddly enough, some spaces at this time of year are going quickly and some programs are wide open. So if you already have your heart set on a particular program or set of dates, just give us a call or send us an email. So far this year, we've noticed that programs closer to the US are gaining in popularity, especially our Caribbean programs. So now I'm going to dive into some specifics of a few of our marine biology programs that we're offering this coming summer, starting with our Curacao Marine Biology Adventure. This is a very special high school opportunity in the marine biology realm. We partner with CARMABI, C-A-R-M-A-B-I, which stands for Caribbean Research and Management of Biodiversity. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's a marine research station on Curacao, and it's actually the largest research center in the Southern Caribbean. So not only is this our home and laboratory for the summer, but the group really becomes part of the fabric and family of the research station and of Curacao in general. We get to know the biologists who are performing vital research on the reefs of Curacao, and also the station is right on the beach itself, which gives us easy access to go scuba diving or witness the marine biology lesson of the day firsthand. So if we got to talk about a marine bio highlight on our Curacao Marine Biology Adventure, my favorite part, working with the Coral Restoration Foundation. So this organization got their start in the Florida Keys, but they also have a location in Curacao. We're very grateful that they do. Hopefully they have locations throughout the world soon. But here, we help to replant a vital staghorn and elkhorn coral on the reef over the course of 2 days. It's been amazing to see how our coral gardens have grown, and we're excited to keep contributing for many years to come. Of course, beyond just marine biology, there's other highlights. I'd be remiss if I didn't include things like kayaking in and replanting mangroves along the coast, learning about and making jewelry out of invasive Caribbean lionfish, and of course, hiking to the top of Mount Christoffel for some amazing views of the island. So I would definitely recommend this adventure to students who want a truly immersive look into the life of a marine biologist. Then we have our Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage. I often refer to our programs as adventures because while we center everything around the marine biology theme, our programs are so much more than an academic course taken abroad. We also have a lot of fun. So on this particular adventure, our home is one of our 50-foot catamarans. It's really such a beautiful way to travel. It makes a great floating classroom for marine biology lessons. It also means that as soon as you learn about something, chances are you can hop in the water and see it firsthand. Highlights include dissecting a fish right on board the boat. Our students love that. Also, we get a chance to work with Saba Marine Park and the Saba Conservation Foundation, help them clean and maintain their coral nurseries. And as you can't tell already, coral restoration is a pretty big theme in the world of marine biology. So we try to infuse it into as many of our adventures as possible. Speaking of Saba, some of the best diving in the world is on the island of Saba. The ocean around it is a large marine park, and Broadreach is among a select few that get to dive right from the boat. This means dawn dives, night dives, and everything in between. Oh, and of course, we also go hiking, water skiing, body surfing, snorkeling, and get a chance to learn about the history of the Caribbean firsthand. It's a really unique opportunity to get a group of like-minded peers together, all pursuing that passion for marine biology, and then getting to explore together on, in, above, and below the water. FYI, we do have a version of this program for our middle school students. It's a bit shorter at 12 days, but packed with the same types of scuba diving, sailing, and marine biology knowledge, just without the college credit. But a fan favorite, Fiji shark studies. Fiji itself is an incredible destination, and students learn so much just simply from being there. And then on top of that, you add scuba diving with and studying sharks on a daily basis. All of this in probably one of the friendliest places on Earth. So it's easy to see why this program fills up quickly every year. Marine biology highlights on this program. Obviously, working with sharks is pretty cool, but sharks are a pretty maligned creature in the media, and we also learn that they're such a vital part of the healthy ecosystem. And the dive shop that we partner with and the scientists we work with teach students to respect sharks, view them in a whole new light. In fact, there's some great research that just came out on the sharks that we see in Fiji, and it turns out the bull sharks in Fiji are genetically different from bull sharks in other parts of the world. This is mostly due to their isolation. So that might not sound cool, but it is cool. And I'll be sure to post the article in the chat afterwards. We also get to see all of the sharks. So beyond bull sharks, we see lemon sharks, silver-tip sharks, black-tip sharks, gray reef sharks, nurse sharks, and occasionally, if we're really lucky, we might see a tiger shark. Fun fact, there are even sharks that our students and instructors have named after them. And then, of course, we make sure to set aside some time for adventures like kayaking on the Navua River and a visit to a local village. This is one of our longest running marine biology programs. And while it's a long trip to the other side of the world, it's well worth it. If marine science is your passion, but maybe scuba diving is not for you, that's okay. There is no better program than our Mediterranean Dolphin and Wildlife Conservation Program. It's packed with bucket list items that few people get to experience, and starts off with a hike along the stunning Amalfi Coast and ends with a lemon cooking class. In terms of marine biology highlights, we head to the Italian town of Taranto, where we take daily research-focused boat trips to observe the dolphins and marine mammals of the Mediterranean up close. We usually will spot bottlenose dolphins as well as striped and rhesus dolphins when we're out on the boat, but sometimes we even spot whales, like sperm whales. This is the life of a field biologist in its truest form. We also learn a lot about the common research and data collection techniques that dolphin researchers use, as well as the natural history, social structure, and the threats and conservation of these beautiful creatures. Then we head down the coast to the southern town of Policaro to visit a World Wildlife Fund sponsored research station to observe the local turtle population and focus on their life cycles, mating, and migratory patterns. We even get to lend a hand at turtle rehabilitation and use drones to help monitor nests along the beach. We finish up our time in the heart of Naples sampling pizza, which they tell me is better than the pizza in New Jersey. I don't know, but we also take exhilarating tours of Pompeii, Mount Vesuvius, the Naples Underground, and of course the island of Capri. So our marine biology programs are pretty incredible, as they do a great job of balancing education and experience. You're hard pressed to find that anywhere else. We're proud to give students opportunities that they wouldn't have until much later in their academic careers, which is really key during this decision-making time in their lives. Our students spend a lot of time working alongside marine biologists and researchers, plus they have the incredible guidance, mentorship, and support of their Broadreach instructors, who also have a wealth of experience in the field. On top of all that, they come home with college credits that can be transferred to most colleges and universities in the US. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to get back into the water this summer. So I will open it up to some Q&A. That's kind of the most important part of these webinars, see what questions that you all have. So let me go ahead and see what I can answer for y'all. Okay. We've got a question on travel day. So as far as travel goes, as we get closer to the summer, will provide vetted flight recommendations. We will also be partnering with a travel agency. If you want that travel agent assistance, that's something we can provide. We will also be sending t-shirts to students once they're enrolled. This way, as they're traveling to gateway airports and onto their destinations, they'll be able to see their fellow Broadreach travelers. We'll also send out minor international travel forms, so everyone will have all the paperwork they need for travel day. If students are traveling as unaccompanied minors, we'll provide the info that the airlines and the students will need when they arrive in their destination. We'll be there once they clear customs, so all the Broadreach instructors will have big signs that say welcome to Broadreach. It's hard to miss them with their big smiles, so we'll be right there for you. And of course, as I mentioned earlier on, 24/7 dedicated travel hotline here at Broadreach for any questions. All right, we have got a question about sharks in Fiji. How old are the sharks typically when spotted in the Fiji program? That is a really good question. It really depends on the time of year because certain sharks will be mating. So usually in the fall, the bull sharks will be heading into, and throughout the winter will be heading into to pup and to give birth in the mangroves. And then we will actually start to see in the summer some of the younger bull sharks that come around. So occasionally we'll see some of the newborns, but they usually stay away from the main shark dive itself. So we're usually seeing mature adults, and they'll be anywhere from 2 years old on upwards. So we have a question about what program provides the most college credits. So two of our longer programs are Mediterranean Dolphin and Wildlife Studies program, as well as our Fiji Shark Studies program. Those provide 3 college credits, and that's going to be the most that we've got. And then as far as our Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage and our Curacao Marine Biology Adventure, those would be 2 college credits. So 2 to 3 college credits, which is great towards prerequisites for a major, and also great to carry over to college and as part of that graduation requirement. Maximum age, we've got a question about maximum age able to attend any given program. So we have a lot of parents that will ask if they can come and join, but unfortunately, no, this is just for students. And so when it comes to our college programs, we do have some of those that are dedicated just to scuba diving and some alumni-only programs. So usually the oldest students we will get on those college programs are gonna be in their early 20s. But in terms of if you're in college, just reach out to us. We're happy to talk about the experience and yeah, work with almost any age of college student. Okie dokie. Will my daughter be able to call me? Yes, this is a good question, and it's one that we get a lot of. So we usually will do calls home on Sundays. I should mention off the start, there will be phone calls home as soon as students arrive in country. We'll get a chance to chat with their Broadreach instructor and, of course, say, hey, we've got your son or daughter, and we're about to head out on our adventure. But then from there, it's usually going to be once a week with calls home on Sundays. Trip updates, which I mentioned a little bit earlier in the webinar, those are going to happen usually every day or every 2 days. Sometimes if we have a little gap while we're traveling in terms of connectivity, we'll let you know when to expect the next trip update. And if we call home and miss a call, please let us know, and we can connect you with your son or daughter. But just to let you know, we do hold on to student SIM cards, which kind of helps them manage that usage, but we're happy to return those as requested to students to make phone calls or if they need to send a text. So we just find that sometimes holding onto those SIM cards allows students to be a bit more present in the moment, but also still have their phones to be able to take photos, play music, take notes, and things like that. Okie dokie. Let's see here. How does college credit work for a high school student? That's a very good question. we find it amazing that students can receive college credit on Broadreach. We're very proud to be able to offer that through our partnership with Lesley University. We've been working with them for the last 20 years, and they oversee all of the curricula for our academic courses. And upon passing an academic course over the summer, students can request a transcript from Lesley in the fall, or whenever they head to college. It would just be transferring from the registrar at Lesley University to the registrar at the future university. And we're lucky to have had this credit accepted at pretty much every US university, from the University of California school system on down to Princeton. Okay. That looks like it is it for, oh, we've got a question. What diving certifications are required for these programs? Really good question. So for our Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage, our Curacao Marine Biology Adventure, those don't require a scuba diving certification. So students would learn as part of that program how to scuba dive. Some students will join that have already learned to dive, and that's okay. We have instructors there that are able to work with students wherever they are in their scuba diving careers. When it comes to the Fiji Shark Studies program, that is one that does require that students are dive certified prior to trip departure. When it comes to those prerequisites, the majority of those programs won't have any, but you'll find that on our website. So if you click on the high school programs tab, you'll be able to see dates, and you'll also be able to see any prerequisites as well. Okay, I've got a question about coral restoration. When it comes to coral restoration in Curacao and via the Coral Restoration Foundation, it's going to be broken up over 2 days and 3 dives. We're going to have briefings prior to each of those dives, but we're also going to have a sort of topside land-based lesson on how to clean those coral trees. It's kind of the best way to describe them, which have those fragments of elkhorn and staghorn coral on them. And then we go down on that first dive and learn about that maintenance that we do on those coral trees. The second dive is going to be fragmenting the coral. So there's different ways that coral can grow. It can grow asexually or sexually. And so when you fragment it, what you can do is just reattach it to in this case, piece of fishing line on a fiberglass pole, or eventually reattach it to the coral substrate, or those rocks down on the reef. And staghorn and elkhorn coral grow quite quickly, so we will help fragment some of those pieces and watch them grow. And once they're big enough, then on that third dive, we can take some of those that have been there for a while and actually replant them on rebar structure. And there's some scientists at the research station that are actually doing some really neat research on what kind of substrate or what kind of substance coral grows best on. So they're using their 3D printers and creating all sorts of neat stuff. So those are sort of our 3 dives there in terms of coral restoration. Let's see. Quick question here, would we be able to get scholarships if we are unable to pay the entire price for a trip? We do have scholarships that are available for our Broadreach trips, and that's through the Broadreach Foundation. So they're a sister organization to us. They've got their own separate website. It's www.broadreachfoundation.org. And in there is a separate application, and they will guide you through that application process and the timelines on when scholarships are going to be offered and in what amounts scholarships would be able to be offered. Quick question about the Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage accommodations. So we do stay on the boat. So we are going to be together as one family living on that catamaran, which is a really amazing way to travel, but that's going to be our home. That's where we do all of our cooking, and it's a fun way to travel. When it comes to sleeping out under the stars on board a boat, I can't think of any other better way to travel. So yeah, we'll be on the boat. We also have some videos on our YouTube channel that show life on a boat, kind of what that looks like and what to expect there. So yeah, definitely check that out. And if you want to reach out to me, I can go back just one slide and let me see if I can go all the way to the end. So you can definitely email us, info@gobroadreach.com, or you can set up a time if you want to just chat with me there. So feel free, and I can answer those questions even in more depth. For Fiji, we've got a question about open water certification. Correct. So just the open water certification is sufficient for that prerequisite to join. We will go through the advanced open water course and a dive specialty as well. So you will have on that program plenty of time to refresh if you haven't been diving in a while right before we do those shark dives. So plenty of time to get your feet wet again. And yeah, just to follow up for those trips that do require that are, rather just want to make sure I'm answering this question right. So yeah, so for programs that don't require scuba diving prerequisites, but there is scuba diving on the program, those first 4 days are going to be dedicated to teaching students how to dive. So that'll be a big portion of it. And of course, working with students that are already dive certified on getting their advanced certifications and getting refresher dives. So everyone could be on the same page as we start to get into some of those research dives and into the marine biology curriculum itself. So yep, learning on a Broadreach program, I think, is one of the best ways to go about it, because you get a chance to not only learn to dive, but then keep diving under the guidance of Broadreach instructors, which really offers sort of a 17-day, 21-day diving course. So I think it's really reinforces the skill and the passion for it. I've got a question about COVID-19. It is impacting registration in the sense that I feel, while we do have just about 200 students enrolled so far, that we're going to see our enrollments shift a little bit later in the sort of spring. Usually now would be in a normal year, a busy enrollment period, but we're sort of seeing that shift to maybe a little bit later, which is fine. So if families want to enroll later, we will be here and we're ready when you are. In terms of day-to-day on-the-ground COVID precautions, a lot of that is going to be dictated by the CDC, but a lot of that is also going to be dictated by the countries that we're visiting. So each of them are going to have specific regulations in terms of pre-departure testing. We don't know what it's going to look like in terms of requiring vaccines. So as we get closer, we will have our concrete pre-departure checklist. We're going to have our on-trip protocols in terms of distancing and hygiene and things along those lines. And then when it comes to being there on program, creating those risk management procedures, if somebody does have signs or symptoms, where we will be going and what that contact tree looks like from there. And also in terms of daily temperature checks, right? Things like that, we're going to have final clarity on as we get a little bit closer. So we've got a question for students who signed up for last year but didn't get a chance to go. We do still have spots for students who were not able to join us last summer. We weren't able to go anywhere last summer, unfortunately. So we do still have open spots. A lot of those families are ready to join us for 2021. And so just to secure that spot, still give us a call. Let's figure out what program is going to be the best fit and just make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So we've got everybody all set. But yeah, we've got spots for everybody. Some good questions. All right.
Hey Patrick, coming out of nowhere over here, but there's a couple questions in the chat box as well that you might want to check out.
Okay, thank you so much, Virginia. Let's see, I've got the Q&A up, and I will find the chat box, Virginia. Don't you worry about it.
Down at the bottom too. I'll read them to you. One of them is there a payment plan?
Payment plan, that is a very good question. So in terms of payment for families that enroll now, we have got deposits refundable until January 15th. And then in terms of insurance, that's something we should chat about. Reach out to us. We can certainly talk about what that looks like for Broadreach programs. But when it comes to payment for Broadreach programs, that final payment date is February 15th.
Cool.
If individual payment plans, reach out to us. We're trying to be as flexible as possible this year, so certainly chat with us. And based on those individual circumstances, we're happy to see if we can come to an amenable solution. I'll say that.
The other question in the chat box is, due to COVID-19, is it still running this program on site? I'm guessing that if it's on our website, is it running this summer?
Yeah. As it stands right now, all those programs that you see on our website are live. We're planning to run them. We are continually reassessing the viability of all of our programs, not only from an enrollment perspective, but also from logistics and itinerary perspectives, continually reaching out to our outfitters and our partners on the ground, just make sure that we are dotting all of our I's and crossing all of our T's. But everything you see there, we are confident and comfortable in running this summer. We might be shifting some itineraries, so just sort of put that out there, is just be flexible with us, but we want to get back out into the world this summer, and we're looking forward to doing it. So we've got a question here about how many people are usually on each voyage. So most of our programs will be 12 students. We have a couple, our Curacao Marine Biology Adventure, that would be maximum of 14 students. But on the Voyage, Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage, boat-based programs, that's going to be 12 students. Got anything else for me, Virginia?
Nope, nothing else in the chat. Those were some awesome questions, though.
Yeah, right on. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time to get to know Broadreach a little bit more, to get to know me a little bit more, on our marine biology programs a little bit better. While these webinars are amazing and it's good to show you who we are, really nothing is better than just giving us a call and talking about your individual goals, your students' goals, and kind of what you want out of a Broadreach summer. We've been doing it for 26 years. We had a hiccup last year, and we are so excited to get back out onto the water and into the world of marine biology. We want to see how much our coral has grown and see all the new sharks in Fiji, and so we're so excited to get back out there. But give us a call. While the summer seems like a long way away, it'll be here before you know it, and we can't wait to have y'all join us. So thanks again from the bottom of my heart, and thank you, Virginia, as well, for all your tech support. And give us a call, shoot us an email, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good night, y'all.